Hello and welcome back here in the auditorium at X-Dream event. Today is one of our demo days and we are focusing in this session on ingest. Two very special types of ingest. We will look at live ingest and on the other hand into social ingest. Here with me in the auditorium is Aurélien from our partner Woody Technologies. Hello Aurélien.
Hello Stefan.
Thank you so much for joining us. Before we jump right away into the demos, let me quickly introduce our audience to the topic. So, I said there is the live and the social ingest, but what do we mean with that? When we look at to live ingest, we mean, for instance, the ingest of the control room team shows us social ingest. So let's talk about social ingest first. So when we talk about social ingest, we mean the ingest from various public social media, like Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram, but also like more the business side, like in LinkedIn and so on. So this is when we talk about social media. But there's more than just this type of platforms. On the other hand, there is the exchange of content via clouds, cloud storages, file sharing systems, and way more. So on the other hand, when we talk about the live ingest, the question is, what do we mean with this? And here we are looking into platforms or sources like an SDI source, an HDMI source, and many others like this on one hand. And on the other hand, again, into streamings. And they can come from, again, a social media or a web stream or from a studio stream, like an NDI stream, as we use it here in our environment, or in SMPTE 2110. So, Aurélien, let's look into things. And let's start with Woody Social. And as we would like to show the software in action, could you please show us how someone could find a post, a social media post, by a search via a location or a keyword?
Yes, sure. I will show you that in the Intuit social UI. So we have here two types of searches in Intuit social that we can start with, the location-based search and the keywords-based search. So when you want to search for content related to a certain topic, you can get help from the keywords or also from the location where the post has been originated. So here I can, for instance, search for content that has been published from Munich, from where you are. So you can circle here on the map, and you can if you want to search around. You can, of course, combine these criteria with national keywords or restrict them by content type, like images or only videos, depending on what you're interested in. And when you run your search, you will get all the latest content posted on the area that will be available and visible here. You can here for story. So this is the location-based search. And the keyword-based search, just go to the keyword, and you can again add the terms that are interesting for you, like let's say COVID and tourism, and you can combine different criteria, and you also have advanced search criteria that you can use here with excluding some terms, for instance, or also looking for the most popular or the most relevant content or the most recent content, depending on what you're searching. And then you again run your search and get your latest posts available here that you can select and preview for interest.
Yeah, an alternative to this type of search might be to follow Twitter accounts. How does that work?
Again, you have here the list searches, and here you can configure your custom list of Twitter accounts. For instance, here I have a list configured with the Premier League clubs, football clubs, and here I can completely by my
So I hear from the control room that the connection to Aurélien has gone. Somehow we cannot hear him. That is a bit of a pity. We can still see how he is doing the presentation. Probably control room team wants to show that. Yeah, but probably you could show us the screen sharing that he does. So what Aurélien does here in this case, he is actually moving content into the bucket list to prepare the actual ingest. So he was following a Twitter account, and all the content that he found in that Twitter account and was displayed here, and he's picking up the elements that are of interest for him in this particular case. And actually, once this is done as the next step, he can do the actual ingest. That is done with the purple button at the very bottom. Yeah, so one of the next step here might be starting the actual ingest. Bad luck for us. We lost him completely right now. And he's back to us.
Sorry for the connection issues.
Yeah, Aurélien, we've been following your screen sharing. I've tried to comment it a little bit, but yeah, probably you want to go ahead and showing us again how to follow a Twitter account and to do the ingest from there.
So what you've probably seen me doing is that here we have the list of Twitter accounts, and I can manage the accounts and see what is the content that has been lately posted by these accounts, and I can again drag and drop the content here on the right hand side and choose my ingest profile to start the ingest of this content.
Excellent. Thank you so much for this. Now, on the other hand, I think checking facts is an important topic nowadays in news production. What way is Woody Social supporting fighting against fake news?
So indeed, it's important when you are searching for such large content across many different accounts to identify if the content is genuine or not. So for every picture or video that you find on Intuit Social, you can get more details about it. You can get more details about the account that has been posting this content, so you can evaluate the reliability of this account. You can also check the number of followers, the number of posts from the person that you are looking at, and you can use the reverse search. That can be quite useful to identify if a picture has been posted before on other websites. So if you have an original picture in front of you, or if you have something that has been published before. So it can help you to identify if your content is genuine or not, and if this is an original content actually.
That sounds very sophisticated, but when you say it, when I want to identify whether a content was published by someone else, would I then upload this picture, for instance, to the system, and it tries to find the same picture at other sources?
It is using the Google reverse search feature. So when we find an image, we call the Google reverse search service, and it will identify if other contents similar to this one has been posted already.
I see. Now, let's move forward in the flow. Now, as we have found content to ingest into our, let's say, newsroom system or production asset management system, we like to trigger that process. But what about metadata from the platforms and additional metadata that I want to type in?
Yes, sure. Metadata is very, very important. So once you have built your selection list that you can see here on the right-hand side, you have to choose a profile and to select an ingest profile that is basically the destination where the content will be will be going to. And depending on this profile and depending on the rules that the administrators have defined, you might be asked to add some metadata to the ingested content. So to add metadata to the videos and the pictures that you are ingesting. This is what we call the user metadata. This is what you add to describe the content that you are ingesting. But you also have the native metadata of the content itself that is coming from the platforms, like who has posted this video, what is the original link to this video or the original URL to this video. This is also metadata that we will automatically extract during the process, and that can be transferred to the target environment, the newsroom system or the media asset management system that we will deliver content to.
Now, on the other hand, there are some social media platforms that do not allow remote browsing via a server. For instance, as far as I remember, that applies to Facebook. Is there an alternative way to get content from such platforms via the social ingest tool to the production asset management system?
Yes, there is an additional way to operate Intuit Social. This is the Google Chrome plugin that we have. This is a web browser plugin that we have developed for Google Chrome. So to use this, you don't need anymore to be connected here to the Intuit Social user interface, but instead, you will enable this Google Chrome plugin that you can see here installed in my Google Chrome, where you will again authenticate against the Intuit Social server. And in that case, this plugin is the user interface that you will be using instead of the search engine. So when you will be browsing a website like an Instagram post,
may I interrupt you quickly? We might have a small technical problem, as we do still see your earlier screen.
Oh, indeed. Yes, let me check if I can do something for that. Today is a bit complicated with the technical stuff.
Yeah, sorry for this. Sophisticated things that we do here today, getting in all the sources here to our studio in Munich. But we want to do our very best to show actually as it is in production. Yes,
that's live. That's live demo. That's the risks of a live demo. This kind of thing happen.
Very true.
Can you see it now?
Yeah, I think we are now receiving something.
Great.
Yeah, it works.
Perfect.
Let's go on.
Perfect. So I show you again the plugin here on the top right corner of my browser. So this is just the plugin for now. I have not opened any post, but if I here open a post that I am ready to ingest here, for instance, for Instagram, we can see that the plugin here on the top right is turning full blue, because it means that this is compatible with Intuit Social. So it will try to fetch the metadata from the current URL, and then I will be able again to select a profile and to add my my metadata and to start my ingest without even opening any other page. So directly from here, from the Instagram page that I'm navigating on right now.
Excellent. And what about files that have been sent to me via file transfer tools or cloud storages? Can they also somehow be downloaded by the Woody Social server?
Yes, you can. In Intuit Social, you have this ability in the plugin to copy and paste a specific URL that you have received by email, for instance, of a Google Drive shared video file, or of a Dropbox file, or a WeTransfer link. So you can paste that either in the first UI that we've seen or in the plugin, and you can get this content also downloaded, transcoded, and delivered to the target system.
I see. Okay, so now we've covered quite a lot of different cases that can happen in ingest from hosted platforms, social media, and so on. But now I'm curious, what was received in the production asset management system from all the ingest tasks that we have been triggering. Can you show us that?
Yes, of course, you're right to ask for that. What happened in the background is that we had all the download, processing, transcoding, extraction of metadata that we have mentioned, and of course delivery to the production environment. So this is all happening in the background, invisible from the users, but the result in the end is that the content is ready for editing very quickly. So if we look now at our production system, in my demo folder, I can see here that I have a folder dated of today that has been created. And inside this folder, the content is organized per category, and then the content can be played directly here in the production system. So it's immediately ready for editing, and of course all the metadata have been transferred. So this is really convenient because you get your content quickly and easily available for all your organization and for all your team.
Many thanks for this insights into the social ingest. Now let's leave this area and let's look into the live ingest. So, because live ingest is another source, especially for news, magazines, sports, so daily productions, where we do have to deal with live feeds. Intuit Live is a very flexible engine for many of such sources. Could you please explain first what it is good for? What type of business case is it covering?
Yeah, basically it's covering all the live sources ingest use cases. So you can have very different kind of sources. Of course, the traditional basement ingest, but also all the web streaming, the video conferencing tools like this interview that you're doing now. We could want to record it, or if you are calling someone through Skype and you want to record the conversation. So Intuit Live is avoiding all the conversions because all the sources are recording natively, and you can manage different type of sources in a single user interface. So this is really for having a central point to manage all your live sources recording.
Okay, now let's say we have a planned transmission of a live feed, signal, satellite or internet stream. How can I schedule such a recording within Woody Intuit Live?
So this is happening in the user interface that I'm showing now. I hope you can see it. This is fully available in the web browser, and this is the Intuit Live scheduler. So all the operations are performed through this web user interface. And very important, I have nothing installed on my computer, and I can also do that remotely. So here I am accessing the scheduler that is controlling a video server located in Paris while I'm in London. And you can see that I have some preview of the input, and that I can do my operations here directly from London without any software installed on my computer. So you asked me to schedule something. So to schedule something, I will just click on the timeline here, select my channel, and I will pick the time that is convenient to me. And then I will say, okay, this is an AP live feed that I want to record. Maybe that's about I don't know, a COVID situation, not very. Not very original. I will select a profile, and I will be able, after I've added my metadata, I will be able to start to save my schedule. Sorry.
On the other hand, there are cases where I cannot plan in advance, where I need more something like a crash recording. So a suddenly happening transmission via satellite of a news feed, or a studio production where I want to do a program recording or even multicam recording. So how can I handle these cases within the scheduler application?
You can very easily. You can click on the red button that we've here on each channel to immediately start recording. And when you do so, the recording really starts immediately. even before you finish completing the details of the recording job that you are creating. So it means that you will not lose any content. You will just have here the time to configure your recording job, but the recording is already actually happening. And then the transfer to the production storage using the metadata, using the profile that you've selected, this will start when you save the recording job, and this will start immediately at that time. Of course, it will transfer also all the frames that were already recorded before you save it. So it's also very easy to start a crash recording in this system.
Yeah, so again, I think metadata are an important topic to find the content within the production system, so like the production asset management system or the newsroom system. So is there a difference in how the metadata is handled in between file-based ingest, social ingest, or live ingest?
No, not really, and I think that's one of the strengths of Woody products. What you can do for camera card ingest, you can do for social ingest, you can do for live ingest. We are using the same metadata engine and media processing engine beyond the various user interfaces that we have, and to manage all kind of sources. So you can use these metadata to do naming, to do organization of the content in the media management system or on the storage. You can also use the metadata to trigger notifications to the users or to third-party systems. So this is the same in Intuit Live as what you might know from the other Woody products, and you can completely customize these metadata forms for your needs and for your workflows.
Then let me guess, as you just spoke last about the live ingest, the way how the content is received in the PAM, for instance, in terms of the video files and the metadata is again the exact same. It does not look any different.
No, the only thing is, of course, that you can have the edit while ingest, but this is true also for the other sources, but it's more important for the live sources. So here, indeed, we can see in the live folder that we have again a folder date of today, and we have here the current recordings that are coming in and that are available for editing, as well as the finished content that has been recorded before.
Aurélien, have many thanks for this great overview on the social ingest and the live ingest. It was great seeing the tools in action. Thank you so much for joining us today here at X-dream.events.
You're very welcome. Sorry for the technical issues.
No worries. Thank you so much for everyone who was joining us here. Please stay tuned. The next session will start in about 20 minutes from now here from the auditorium.